I'm running out of ideas. Let's talk about programming. Nah, I'm just kidding. These past few weeks, I've actually been contemplating about my life decisions. I did a lot of stuff like finally make a website as a practice of what I learned and reading a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's been 2 weeks. Plus, I have not been able to record audio and I take responsibility for my actions. Anyway, speaking of responsibility, have you always taken responsibility on everything you do? If you have an enemy at school and you're doing bad because of him, is it his fault? If you break down responsibility, it becomes respondability or responsibility. I know, genius, right? The ability to respond to things is actually pretty powerful because you can choose to respond in every situation and we have control over it. Let's take the example from earlier. You let your emotions get to you, that's why you did poorly. You focused on the enemy too much that you've lost focus on your studies. It was your response to the conflict that brought you down. Hence, it was your responsibility. If you had ignored the enemy and focused on what's more important, you would have had little to no problem dealing with your studies. You don't lose anything. You didn't lose to your enemy, but you did well. It was the right choice. We have just witnessed two types of response from these sample situations: reactive response and proactive response. The first situation was a reactive response. You reacted to the way your enemy treats you, that's why you lost track of your studies. You let your enemy control your actions, that's why you think you're not responsible for your trouble. The second situation, however, was a proactive response. You proactively handled the situation and took responsibility of your actions by choosing not to care about your enemy. We've maintained control of ourselves. Being reactive means that you're often affected by things around you and blame them for your lack of well being. Being proactive means that you take responsibility in everything you do and you did not let external circumstances to affect what you do. Well, of course, not every problem in the world can be solved. We have these direct problems that we have full control on and can react to proactively. Then we have these indirect problems that we can be solved with influence, like your friend's problems, etc. Lastly, we have these problems we have no control on and should just accept the way they are. The reason why I'm sharing this information to you is there's just a lot of things going on nowadays and people tend to react to those things reactively instead of proactively. And these people could be our government or the people themselves. When a problem in a country arises, for instance, the government will try to find a proactive solution to it because it is their responsibility. Now let's say the solution to the problems are not liked by the people. The people will instinctively respond reactively to the people themselves rather than their actions, thus bring a great issue to the society. Instead of actively ranting about how the government people sucks huge ass, which personally I would say true, we could respond to them proactively by speaking out or voicing out a better idea of a solution and continuously increasing our circle of influence, starting with ourselves, by the way, until it reaches them. We elected them, so we have responsibility on choosing who will govern us. This is not a no control problem. It is a half direct and indirect control problem. Direct because we voted them, it was our responsibility. Indirect because they are people, meaning they can change for the better or not. We should not attack them as a person, but criticize their actions and hopefully they could reflect upon themselves and eventually listen to the people. We criticize their solutions in a way that we voice out what we think is right. It is our right to fix our government, just like our responsibility to our actions which are electing them in the first place. If we keep reactively responding to these problems and saying, it's just the way it is, then you're letting yourself get controlled, and if that happens, we'll all be fucking ourselves over. The problem is out there, and it's also a bit in us. We voted them, now they're acting this way, it's our problem to fix the government. The people working for the government are stubborn, so they have a problem in themselves. Whether it's us or the president himself, it is how we respond to the circumstances that is the problem. If the government doesn't see the problem within themselves and their actions, the situation won't get any better. If we citizens continue to proactively influence the actions of the government by speaking out what you think is right, then perhaps they might change and get better. But if they don't listen, enough reason to impeach them. It was our responsibility to elect them it's also our responsibility to impeach them. I hope you guys and gals understand the message I'm trying to say here. If I offended you in some way, I'm very sorry. Talk to me online, message me about it, whatsoever. With that said, I hope you've learned a little something today. Thanks for watching.